Hi guys, again welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a teacher's gift. It's going to be a coffee cup and then it's on a tray with a little jar. I didn't film the making of the coffee cup, but I have filmed the making of the tray and the jar. I also did a little bee honey pot bear set, but I didn't use that for this set, but I did make it because I was using those colors. So I thought while I'm at it, I'll just do a little bear in a honey pot at the same time. So I'm using the tray and the jar in this video. So here again, I am just making my casting mixture. Liquid as normal. I put the liquid in and then I add the powder to the liquid. Like I say in all my others, I always add powder to the liquid because it just helps when you are mixing it together. I just thought I would make them slightly multicolored. The tray I'm going to be doing the initial color in the yellow, and then I will add the white on top of the yellow once that has dried a bit. You can always do them together so that they blend in more naturally, but this I just wanted it to be so that the yellow was more solid when I added the white to it. So here I'm just mixing up the yellow. I did put the powder color into the mixture because it's a solid color. I didn't need to mix it afterwards because then I would have got more of a marbleized effect. So I added it with the powder and then added the powder to the liquid. So here you can see it's a yellow color. The jar is a type of a honey pot jar. It has, you'll see when it's done, it has the little drips of honey running down the side. It doesn't say honey on the jar, so it doesn't have to be a honey jar. It can be any type of a jar. And the lid is a stopper type lid. It's not a screw-on lid. So I thought that would be quite nice for the teachers if they want to put some paper clips or something like that into there. And then it'll have the little candle that's going to be decorated with some teachers type decorations. Right, so now this is mixed up enough that I'm hoping there are no lumps and bumps in it, and obviously also not too many air bubbles. So now I'm about to pour the tray. Like I said, I'm just doing sections. Oh, sorry, no, I did the little honey jar first. Here I'm just doing it in wavy sections, and then I'll fill the sections up because like I said, I wanted it to be a dual color but more solid, not blending the two colors together and pouring at the same time. So this was done first, and then like I said before, I let this dry a little bit so that they didn't leak into each other when I poured the white into it, because I just wanted something different. I'm not a huge lover of solid colors. I like to have a marble effect or two separate colors, or I do use two colors at the same time so that they sort of blend together, but I'm not a lover of solid colors. Yeah, so here I am just pouring the pot. I poured it up to where basically where the bottom of the drip stopped. It was a little bit further than where the bottom of the drips stopped, and then this is the lid. You can see there are a few lumps in there that I just had to quickly give a stir to break them up a little bit. You have to work quite quickly because you don't want the mixture to set too much, and then there's nothing worse than trying to scrape the mixture out and put it into the mold when it's already almost getting solid, because that's also when you end up with not only air bubbles, but you end up with sections that have big air pockets in them. Here, just giving it a tap just to get it into any of the little crevices and get out some of the air bubbles. Like I have mentioned before, it's inevitable that you're going to get some little air bubbles or little sections that where the air is trapped. But most of the time, if your liquid is liquid enough, you will find that you are less likely to get air trapped or too many air bubbles. But yeah, so there we go. We're just pouring the remainder into the tray where I've left little sections that need to be filled up. Again, just giving them a little bit of a tap and squishing the little honey pot to make sure it's also in all the little crevices. And then the second round was just white that I was doing because I wanted them to be a dual color with the yellow and the white. Mixing the liquid first and then adding the powder like I normally do. This I sped up because I'm sure you don't want to watch me stirring away the second time in a row. So I just sped this up. I would never ever stir it this fast in real time because yeah, you would end up with very air bubbly mixture. We aren't baking cakes here, so we've got to be a little bit more gentle with our stirring. And then now again, as you can see, the yellow has dried slightly, enough that it's not going to run when I add the white to the yellow. You can see it basically just goes on top of the yellow and fills in any of the gaps that I left where I wanted the white to show. Obviously you can't tap this too much because you also don't want to crack the yellow that you've already poured. So you have to be quite gentle if you do want to give it a tap once you've added the second color. Basically just get it into all the corners and edges. And then here I'm doing the jar. It's actually a really nice little jar with its lid. It's quite big as well. So like I said, if the teacher wants to fill it up with any paper clips or any of the little pins or anything like that, it's quite a nice decent size that they can actually use it. So I thought this would go quite nicely with the set for the teachers. And then just doing my little head of my teddy bear, which like I said, I'm not using it in this set, but I was using those colors, so I thought I would just make a mold of him quickly. I mean, a little cast of him quickly. I unfortunately dripped a bit of white onto the lid. I was just wiping that off a little bit, but once you sand it and seal it, it comes off anyway, but I just didn't want a lump there. Right, so now it was dry overnight. The tray was very easy to unmold. I didn't have much stress unmolding the tray, but like I have said before, I have anxiety when I have to unmold some of the stuff because it does sometimes get stuck, and unfortunately they do sometimes crack or break when you are a little bit too hand-fisted. The lid was quite solid. There was nothing much that could have really broken off on the lid. Now I've left this unmolding in the video because when I was going through and editing, I thought, no, I have to show how long sometimes it does actually take for me to unmold, because I stress so much when I'm trying to unmold, and we should have been given more hands, because 10 fingers is just simply not enough sometimes when you've got to try and get a silicone mold off a casted item. Because also you have to remember that it's not 100% dry yet, so you also don't want to scratch it with your nails or with something else. So I thought I would leave this in real time so that you can see that it's not the easiest thing to unmold. Yeah, I sometimes, some of them are actually so annoying to unmold that you actually literally get anxiety because your stress level just goes sky high. When you think you've got it and you think you're going to be able to get your fingers around and get it off, you can't. It literally just pops back again, and then you got to start all over again. It's just yeah. So eventually I get it to come out, because I just don't like to damage them, or not that there was much that could break off this. You see, maybe I should have just done that in the beginning. But yeah, I sometimes battle with them, but eventually I get them off. Sometimes they break, which is unfortunate, but yeah, that's how long sometimes it takes. And like I said, they're not 100% dry yet, so they do have a tendency to sometimes also crack or break, because these have now still got to stand and dry totally. So yeah, so anyway, that's my unmolding. I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe some people have an easier way of doing it, but I just get stressed out when I have to take things out that I know I'm going to battle with. Anyway, those were easy. Those just pop out, my little honey pot and my teddy bear. So there they are, which, like I said, I'm not using, but he's very cute. So there we go, unmolded, and they are ready now to dry and to get sealed. So now this is the teacup or coffee cup, whichever you like to call it. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't do this in the casting or unmolding or anything. I had actually already done this one. So this I am just showing how I decorated it. I did have, you can see in the video, I had a little blue world globe that I was going to put on, but it just didn't it just didn't go. So I just used the book and the little Filofax type thing and a ruler. That's all I used. I did try and use the other one, and then I decided that I would just use a little, it's like a bag sort of thing. And then, of course, once I'd done that, then the ruler moved, so I had to take that off and redo it. So the ruler got a little bit slightly warped in the one section, but you can't really see it. It was fine once it was back on again in the wax. So there we go. There's our little teacher's gift candle in the coffee cup or teacup. And I thought it looked really sweet. And now I just had to put it together on the tray that I'd made and added the little jar with the stopper lid. There you can see a close-up of all the decorations, and there is the jar with the lid. I think they look quite sweet together. I did just take a photo of it on a wavy tray, one of my wavy tray molds, and one of the other trays that I had, and that's just the little jar on its own. It's quite cute with its little stopper lid. I really do like that jar. It's very cute. And then the tray that I made for the actual gift set. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and as normal, until next time, have a great one.